Hi, I'm David Scott. We're here in Boulder, Colorado today. We're talking with Dr. Kelly Schuh about her project, Talk About Herpes. Dr. Schuh, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So for those who don't know, tell us about Talk About Herpes.
Talk About Herpes is a project that I created out of my own personal journey, and it really is about sharing my personal experience of healing and helping other women with herpes to know that they can have a full, vibrant, healthy life. They can have babies and amazing relationships, and that it's all possible. It's not a virus that's going to ruin your life.
Well, let's talk about that journey a little bit. When did you find out that you had herpes?
Well, I contracted the virus 13 years ago. I was right out of college, and I had wanderlust. I wanted to travel the world like many young people, and I spent 5 months abroad. I ended up in Nepal, and that's where I was first diagnosed, and I was absolutely devastated. And then I spent, unfortunately, 3 days in a hotel room crying my eyes out. I did reach out to my family and told them what was going on, so I did talk about it, but I felt that no one would ever love me, no one would ever want to be with me. I did know that it could potentially affect childbirth. So even at 23, I knew I was driven. I was going to medical school, and I wasn't thinking about having children then, but the feeling of loss, of the possibility of having a normal childbirth was probably the worst hit of all.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but Dr. Schuh, you're pregnant.
I am.
8 months pregnant, if I understand right. You're happily married in Boulder, and by all accounts, very healthy. Presumably, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
There is. We're doing a home birth, and my husband and I were married 1 year ago. This coming weekend, we're getting ready to celebrate our first anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so really, I find that in sharing my story with other women, not just how to manage it, the doctor hat can teach people how to manage it naturally, but what I'm able to do with Talk About Herpes is to share with them that life goes on and that you can have everything in life that you want.
Well, being a chiropractor, I guess the healer in you really turned outward after this experience and said, how can I bring this information and this understanding and this forum to other women? What made you start Talk About Herpes?
I think that I had to go through my personal journey, so I had to learn how to feel more comfortable with it and talking to people with it. And so wearing the doctor hat, women would come to me and have questions. And so it started out with questions about getting accurate information about the virus. And then it moved from that to me being comfortable enough to share my personal journey. And it was when that happened, they opened up like you would not believe, and they would cry, and many women would tell me that I was the first person they ever told. And so I saw that was the spark. It wasn't just how do I manage this disease, but how do I live my life? And so it really came out of the need of my patients in my practice, and finding that the more I shared, the more I talked about herpes, the more they opened up, and I was able to send them on a healing journey that I wish was there and available to me. Most doctors, when you go to the office, if you have a question about herpes, first of all, they're never going to admit that they have it, and secondly, you'd be lucky if you get a pamphlet about the virus and a prescription for a drug. So it came out of the need for being an inspiration for other women.
Well, Dr. Kelly Schuh, hats off to you for taking what has been a very difficult and dark issue for a lot of people and bringing it out to the light.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us.